Hiya guys, it's Waz with another video, and the video today is the jetpacks that I made for the Death Bomber, which is just there. Death Bomber's been sold. After today, it's going to get packed away and it's going to get sent off to its new owner. So yeah, really pleased with the sale of that. Okay, so let's talk about these then. Basically, I made these for the Death Bomber. And the photographs at the beginning of this video are obviously these in the Death Bomber. So I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's why I've put the photographs at the beginning of this video, so I don't have to talk about that and mess around with the Death Bomber. Okay, so how did I make these? Well, they're really easy. I'm not the only one that's done this type of smoke thing. There's loads and loads of videos on YouTube, okay, so feel free to go and do what I did, research and have a look, okay, and just copy what other people do. There's tutorials on there, so I'll quickly talk through what I did, and I'll quickly talk about the mistakes I've made as well, so you don't make them mistakes, because I'll show you the mistakes on this video, okay. Now the first one is, if you're going to do these smoke things, I would make them a bit smaller than these, because I've put these on bases that I made and mould. These are ones I moulded. They're quite thick bases, and they're quite heavy as well, so they do help in holding the figure onto the base. All right, if you want to do this type of thing. Now, one of the big mistakes I made, okay, and I'll bring one of these over in a minute. Well, one of the biggest mistakes I made was I built the figure, then I stuck the metal rod through into there and glued it into the backpack. Then I made this and stuck this on. Wrong way around of doing it. The best way to do it is to make your figure, put a bit of green stuff inside there, okay, and then your piece of metal wire. This is 12 gauge wire, so it's quite thick but still quite bendy, okay, but it's thick. That's the key thing for me, is it was quite thick, okay. So you can push that in there into the green stuff, make sure it fits nicely, and then put it out, let the green stuff dry, and then you've got a good fit, okay. So them three things need to be separate, okay. So the figure, the smoke thing, and that. Okay, right. So what did I make it out of? Well, This is called rock foam, I believe, and you can buy it off eBay. This was just a sample copy, a sample of rock foam, and it's pretty good. So what you do is you just cut it into chunks. So to make smoked plumes, I would cut it. So if you look at this example here, okay, so this has got two chunks there. So that is basically that square there and that square there. All right. If I stand it next to it, you can see the size. Okay. Now, like I said, you need to make these smaller because these are quite big. These models there, they're actually quite big. All right. So these need to be a little bit smaller if you're going to use them in game. If you're only using them for display, you know, to make things look good, then that's fine. Okay. But yeah, I would definitely make them smaller. So what I did then is once I got the two chunks cut, you start pulling it apart. Okay. And the idea of smoke is smoke's big at the bottom, small at the top, because where the flames, not a very good example, that one. So where the flames come out of, okay, is squirting the fire out, the fireball out. So you can see how I'm going small here, coming to large here. All right, and I'll show you a mistake as well on this. If you can see there, you see how flat that is there. That's where a piece that I didn't pull off enough, and when I've come to paint it, you can see it's a little bit flat. So it doesn't give the smoky effect like these other, like the rest of it has done. All right, and that's just the flat bit there, you see. So if I'd have just gone a little, if I'd have made sure 100% it was all pulled apart, it wouldn't have happened with the smoke on that one. So what does it look like then when you've pulled it all apart? Well, it looks like this. Okay, so once you've got it to that stage there, I mean, you could have two clumps. I suggest you do two clumps because it's a little bit easier. What you do then is push the wire through. Once you've got it through, push the clump down, put some super glue along the wire, and then let it come back up again. Okay, so it sticks to the wire, and do exactly the same on the other side. Push it down. All right, put some super glue along the wire, and then let it go back up again. Let the super glue dry. Give it 15 minutes or so. Okay. And then the next stage, once you've obviously pulled it all apart and made it look good, you've got it to a pointed bit at the back, so you can see there, it's pointed there because that's where the flames are coming out, and it's bulbous here because that's where the smoke's going to sit. All right, so it sits like that. So you can, before you do anything further from this stage, you can still pull it apart and make it look a bit thinner smoke if you wanted. It's entirely up to you. Okay, but you can see by that there, that fits perfectly on there. And then when you paint it, I'll talk about painting in a minute, it'll look really good. Okay, so the next stage, so once you've got it all nice and you can see it's going to look good. All right, it goes in a bit like smoke do. Just go and have a look at some smoke, pictures of smoke, and see how the smoke behaves. Okay. So once you got at this stage, then the next thing I did was I got some 1 part PVA glue and 1 part water, so 50-50 mix, and then all I did then was paint this as heavily as I could. I had a base ready though, because once I'd painted it, I just sat it in the base like that and just left it to dry. Okay, and that's all you needed to do. And what that does then, it just stiffens it up a bit. Because your next stage is your painting stage, okay? So I sprayed these just a Halford's primer, and that was just to get it ready for the black. And when I'm not going to show you a black one painted. Reason being is it doesn't come out very well on the video, so I'm just going to leave it as grey. But imagine now I've sprayed it grey, and then I'm going to spray it black. Okay, spraying it grey helps with the black when the black sits on it, because end of the day you're going to be painting it back to grey anyway. So if you get any little tears in it or something, but something you've accidentally done, it doesn't matter, because it's hopefully going to be grey underneath there as well, and it stiffens it up again, so it goes quite stiff. So at that stage now, it should be, you know, ready to paint. I would give it a good 24 hours, let it settle, all right, before you do any further. Then, obviously, the painting side of it. Painting is easy. This is easy. All you do is start with white at the top, very little white, if I'm honest. So come down to about there with the white. You can barely see any white on here anyway, and be quite heavy with it. You're still sort of dry brushing, okay, but you're not, if that makes sense. It's anyway, you're going down in the shades, all right. So start with white, then go to yellow, then go to a darker yellow, then go to a light red, a really bright red. Okay, so you can see I'm coming down. Okay, a bright red and then a dark red. Then you go to a dark grey all the way down. So do dark grey all the way down, but then you also put a little bit of grey up the top. Okay, so you can just see, if the camera will focus in a little bit, I've done a little bit of grey over here, look. All right, so you're blending it in now. It's really simple, honestly. If I can do it, I'm a rubbish painter. Okay, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Just take your time. There's no rush in this. And then obviously I've done a dark grey, then do a light grey, and then do a white. Okay, more at the bottom where the smoke is thingy. But you can come up as well. This has been painted twice now. I wasn't happy with the first time I painted it, but I went back and I painted it again, and it really does turn out really well. But yeah, so that's it. So both of them, these two are going with the aircraft, the Death Bomber. I didn't advertise it actually with these, but he's going to have a nice surprise when he opens it, and he's got these two in there, and he's going to think, what the frig are them? But I'm going to guess he watches my videos, because you know, there was no tie kicking involved. He straight bought it. So yeah. I think they look really cool, and you can do these with flamers as well. And I know also a lot of people like to do if it's like the flame, the colour under here where it's burning. So you could do like red underneath there, so it looks like it's, you know, heating up his, reflecting the heat. Sorry, on his trousers. But I aren't that great a painter, so obviously I didn't do that. But really simple to do. Okay, really simple to do. So like I said, that's rock foam. All right, you can do it with this stuff here. This is I think this is called Clump Foliage. All right. Well, it says on there hedge foliage. Okay, but when I did my research on these, I bought a little packet off eBay to have a look, and apparently this is the best stuff to use to make smoke clouds. All right, if you want to learn about making smoke with this stuff, just go research it like I did. Okay, I'm not gonna make smoke out of this stuff. I bought it just to see what it was all about. It was off eBay. I think I paid about £2.50 for this in the UK, and it's pretty good stuff. But like I said, I haven't used it yet, but this is the best stuff to use if you're doing smoke stuff. But however, this is cheap as chips. This block here was about £2, I think, and you can see the difference between it. And I've got loads of leftovers as well that I've pulled off. And apparently, if you put the leftovers in a blender and blend it all up, an old blender by the way, and blend it all up, you get this stuff. So I've not tried that trick yet, but in my research, that's what I found out. Right, guys, that's it. That's my video. I'll get this video up today, and hopefully you'll bang that like button, you will share my video, and you will get your mates to subscribe as well. And by the way, I've made a haul, $6 so far, so I'd like to thank you all. I'm going to spend it wisely. I may buy a pint of beer. We'll see. But yeah, thank you again for watching my videos. You've made me $6 whole. All right, guys. All right, I'll speak to you later. Bye.